Something that never made Central Virginians bat an eye is now the thing many want to know more about, especially after tens of thousands of people in multiple counties were left without water for days because of an issue at the city of Richmond's drinking water treatment plant last week.
So I would have thought that Henrico would have been kind of doing their own thing, but it seems that Henrico is still dependent on Richmond.
We're just as important as the West End. We pay our taxes just like them.
According to county documents obtained by CBS 6, 27% of Henrico's water supply comes from Richmond's water facility. That water goes to residents in Henrico's East End. West End residents get their water from the county's own plant, which operates at the intersection of 3 Chopped and Gaskins Road. All of Henrico County was eventually put under a boil water advisory because officials were not certain if untreated water could have mixed with the West End supply. The county is contractually obligated to get water from the city under the terms of an agreement that has been in place for 40 years and will be in place for another 15.
The city had the infrastructure for the water treatment. The county did not, and historically, and so that's how the county became a customer of the city.
Attorney Thomas Coates reviewed the agreement for CBS 6.
As a customer, does the county expect that they're maintaining and keeping it to a certain quality and level?
Oh yeah. The requirement is that the county water, that the water that's received by the county through the contract is of the same quality as that received by people in the city.
The contract also details how the county determines how much the county pays for water, and it defines where liability falls if there is an issue with the city getting the county the water they pay for. The wording of the contract states that the city would not be held responsible if there is a disruption based on the following: an act of God, strikes, lockouts, wars, blockades, insurrections, riots, epidemics, landslides, lightning, earthquakes, fires, storms, flood, breakage or accident to machinery or lines of pipe, and more.
Teams of lawyers can argue for days and days on end, like how many wise men can fit on the head of a pin about what that means in terms of whether something is an act of God or not.
I asked how what's written in the contract could apply to what happened last week.
Could the county sue the city if it is deemed in their investigation that they were negligent in keeping up their equipment and supply?
If the negligence is not something that would be foreseeable in the context, or was something that should have been foreseeable and would not be saved or carved out as a result of this clause, then potentially there would be a claim.
So potentially yes.
Potentially yes.
When asked if he thinks it'll come down to that,
I would think the burden would be very high to prove that it was a failure that would be not covered by this. It's not so likely that the county will go after the city in terms of a lawsuit because this is a collaborative arrangement.
a Henrico County spokesperson and the chair of the Board of Supervisors did not get back to me on if legal action is something the county is considering. However, the county has hired a third party to analyze the situation on a county and regional level. The county manager addressed that Tuesday at the Board of Supervisors meeting.
How will the county become more reliant on our system? This question, quite frankly, cannot be sufficiently answered in 30 days. So we are going to take a little more time in getting that answer, but I think that 30-day review is going to give us an early indication as to how that may be possible.
The city says the regional directors of public works meet once a quarter. The city and the county have not gotten back to me on when that last meeting was held. In Richmond, I'm Maggie Marshall, CBS 6 News.